All right. Good morning, all. We're back to our database class, and today we shall see how we populate tables, already created tables in the database with data. How do we populate data into the tables we've already populated in a created? Of course, there are several ways of doing such, and as the demands needs or requests or as with regards to what you have on ground, okay, pending the problem at hand. We've been using an insertion statement for the population. Populating data in tables means inserting data into tables. This is the terminology for the database. So be interacting with data, insert statements. Sometimes this insert statement may not really work for some reasons. How we've been interacting directly with the server. Let me introduce something here. This is MySQL Workbench, and when you load it, if you want to start using it, you click on, you create what we call connection here. Create connection. If you are to use it for the first time, you need to click on this plus sign, and then it asks you from connection name. You may give it a name. Let's say CCL, that is Cloud Software Results Limited 2021 database class, for example. All right. Then it asks you of the TCP/IP is the connection method. Don't do anything here. The host name here, of course, this is local host. This is the IP for the local host, and this is the port number, and this is the username. And then I've already stored. Let me store my username password here. The password in Vault, and then you test the connection first. This is just a warning. It tells you connection successful with these parameters you've supplied. Are we there? Then you click on OK, and then OK it. Then it's going to create such connection here for you. Can you see it here? Then you click. When you click on it, it asks you this. You continue. So this is now a different connection. This is another connection. This is another. Okay, this is the connection for other seats, and then this is for patch A. This is your own connection. So it depends. Probably you are connecting to a different database, while another connection is connecting to another different database or something, pending the parameters and whatever you are onto. So and then you have file, you have edit. You can go to preferences and temper with some things here if you want. Example, you can change how things are displayed here. As you can see, auto save script interval. It saves at the interval of 10 seconds. And then if you want to change font, you come over here. You see, this is the font type, and this is the size of the font for the SQL editor. For the script shell, these are, if you change this to maybe, let's say 20, let's see how it affects. The same. So maybe you have to do it for all for it to affect the editor. Let's see, 20, and 20. Well, please, let us not waste time. Let's just go directly to what we have on ground. So the topic of today is insertion of data in table. How do we populate? First of all, we've been interacting with insert statement. If you recall, we created one database. We call it I think page 2. Is it page 2? Page 2020. Thank you. So we'll let you say
2021.
page 2021. Okay, the editing I did has affected this. So I was trying to do for only this. So let me correct it. Let me take it back to its normal something here. 11. You say okay. Thank you. 11 and 11 as well. And now if you run, it takes it back to its font size. So uh, page 2020, right? 2021. If you search from here, if you search for pet, can you see it gives you what you've done here? You can use it. Okay, let me magnify so we know what we're doing correctly. Okay, page 2021. So this has been used. Let's see the show what? Show tables. So these are the tables. We only have one table. Now what I want us to do, we are going to use a database from another detail. We are going to import tables from another database. So we can have a database that has many tables, and then we make use of them. We're going to import it in here. Then we implement our topic of today. I don't know if you understand what I mean. I have another database here called. Please let me use this. I have another database called. Look at the name here. One eSIM database. If you check the tables, it has many tables, not up to 10, but these tables contain data, a lot of things. I'm going to import this into our database, the page 2020, and then we'll make use of what we have there. So for us to do that, for importing, let us demonstrate how to import with what? With command prompt. So you have cd. I want to get back to the root directory, and then cls, everything goes off. I cleared it. I cleared the screen. So and sorry, it's like I zoomed it too much. All right. Now I want to first of all export this database. Sorry, this very database we've seen its tables. This is the database name. I want to export it, and when I export, I will then import. So that means this lesson is going to cut across import and what? And export of what? Databases. Exporting, this is what we call backup. You export, that means you back it up, then you import. That means you are restoring. Export and restore. So first of all, before we do this, we need to do database export and database import. So let's say A, for example. And then for this now, for what we are going to do here, let's give it B, and we call it what? Methods for populating data. Okay, so this is it. All right. So let's quickly do that. I want to import. I've copied the data for the database here now. I want to export this first. So you write This is exactly what we also call dumping. Then this exporting is also called what? Dumping. You're dumping it. So MySQL dump, you need to specify what's the username, you need to specify the password, then you need to specify the name of the database. Okay, and then you need to push it. This means export. If you use this, it means what? Import. Import is less than sign, and export is what? Greater than sign. Of course, there are applications that even the workbench will import and export for you, but we want to demonstrate how it's done using command prompt. It's not always that you see some applications that enable you to import and export in a given environment. For servers, you hardly see MySQL workbench installed in them, so you have to do it as it is with command prompt, or you find other ways. So then here you specify where you are exporting it to. That is the what? The directory, the folder. So please, let's export it into a folder here we call export. There's a folder here we call export. So let's export it here, okay? So then let me copy the path here, so I don't type the path myself. Okay, let me say ccl September dump esim. Then you have to give it a file extension. You can export it to CSV, you can export it to SQL, you can export it to whatever, something you wanted. Okay, so when you export, it's going to be in form of text file. Then you click on what? You press enter, and then you supply your password here. It has done its work. You can export without database. Without data. If you don't want to export it with data, then you do what? Then you come over here and tell it that it shouldn't export with data. You now say dash no dash data. That means you don't need data. You only need the structure of the database. Only the table created, the created table constraint, and all the structures, but data not inclusive. Then you check. You can now say no here. For example, September. Let me say no data. For me to differentiate it from the other one we have done. Alright, so you see it is done. So please, can you see it here? Done. These files were not here before. When you export it, push it into this what? Folder. Can you see the time? This is our system time, 10:12. And look at the time it was created, 10:12, and this one is 10:11. This is the first one. Okay, let me open this one. It will open very quickly. Can you see? But the second one, this very one, will not open quickly because there are data in it. Can you see? It is wasting time. It has to load the data inside. You see the volume of data we have there. Are we there? So now we've done import. Now I want to we've dumped it, and I want to import it into a different database. You can import it into the same database, but I want to import it into a different data. Can you see the data we have there? Can you see? It will list out the table, it will list out the table, and then the data inside it. This is a text file. Are we there? It is a text file. This is a txt file. You see the data? Look at how I'm scrolling here, only here. Look at it. Can you see? So now, if you want, this is the everything regarding the database. If I should send it to you, you can import it into your system and check what you want to check. All right. So then now let us now import it into this database. You import it into this page 2020. First of all, let us check the tables of page 2020. Page 2020 has no table rather than one, which is pet. Is it? Yes. So now let's go into here, and now for the MySQL, for the dump, for the import, you don't need to write dump. If you write dump, it will not work for you. You only write MySQL, and then you specify the root, the username. Not necessarily use root, only the any username that has the privileges of importing, dropping table and whatever, it will do this. And then creating database, dropping table, and that. Then you specify the name of the what? Name of the database. I'm using Windows 8, so you have to highlight, you have to write Mac, and then for this now you now say import. Okay, where are you importing it to? Where are you importing it from? I'm importing it from same location. Just go over there, and we are importing the second one. So pick your location from here, so you don't have issues. You see, this is the first one, CCL September, right? See, this is the first one, right? CCL September import. If you click it to try to open, that's not what we mean. Just click again, it will give you the path, so you don't make mistakes while writing in the command prompt, since if you do that, it will not work. Sorry, this is a mistake. I'm importing into a different database. This is the database we exported, so this is the database I'm importing into. Okay, look at it here like this. Then I press and then I supply. Then it has done it. Now if you check from here, can you see the tables for the page 2020 now change to these ones? So this is where we want to work. This is where I want to work. These are the things I needed. So now let's come back to our topic here. Insertion statement. We all know how to do insertion. Insert into database. Insert into table name, values, open bracket. You insert your values and then you close, right? But for the second one, copying from existing file. I want to copy from existing file. The file in existence. File that has been in existence. The existing table, sorry. So if you check, for example, let's check on product. What are the contents of product? Select asterisk from, sorry, let me zoom for you. I'm selecting from products. Okay. And then, can you see? I told you, you see, please keep checking here. I guess it gives you only 1000 rows, and then it stops. But this is not the end of it. If you want to know the end of this, you can count the rows. You can now say count, and then it will count the rows for you. Can you see? 1800 and what? 6. So please be careful. If you are using a community version of MySQL Workbench, it gives you only 1000 rows when you make queries. But if you do this from, let me do it from the MySQL, from the client here. MySQL you root p, my password. Let me reduce the zoom here. Of course. Okay. I want to see the bare content, not the content. Okay. You see what is happening? What is this? We're having blob inside. We're having images. These are how images are represented. Blob. For MySQL Workbench, it will not display blob for you. It will only tell you blob, that is binary large object, that there is image. This image is the code we created. What we call this QR code. The QR code is in form of image. It's not a text. That's why it is giving you this. So console tends to give you everything you request, unless if you say do not give me this. But these are this, if you look at it from here, can you see something here? QR code, QR image, right? Can you see below? Huh? Binary large object. So it won't display it for you. It won't display unless if you run it from your your front end. But for this one, gives you everything. That's why. And then for you to store one below, it takes large, very large memory. That's why you see it keeps running like this. But you can alter it. um there's also is it alt break or something? I forgot the something here. There's something break. I think it's on desktop keyboards. I don't see it here. If you press it, to stop. And the products are many. If you keep doing this, um now let's now see this loading data from a local file. Sorry, not loading from existing file. So this product, I want to copy the content of the product into another table. You see, as it is 1000 plus, how will you be inserting 1000 plus something? Since it is already in your database, you don't need to do that. You just write command, so you copy it into another table. Okay, so the first thing you will need to do here is all right. So this is the result of the query. Now, one thing we need to do, let us create another table called product, or we give it the name we want, and then we push it into. For example, if you check these tables, you see, if you check this, these are the tables we're having. Huh? These are the tables we are having. So let me create another table called product 2, or my products, for example. But using the same structure of this product. You don't need to start saying create table, whatever. Since it is there, you can create table from another table. Creating new table from an existing table. So you can do this. You can now say create table. What is the name of the table? I want to create my product. We don't have it there. Create table from my product, and then you write the name of the actual table. Name of the actual table is what? Product. Then you can now say like products. Okay. If you do this and execute, it will do what? It will create table for you like that. So let's check from the tables we are having. You see me executing this very well with cursor. When you click on it, it only executes where your cursor is. But if you click on this, it executes the whole thing. If you want to use this, you must highlight like this, then you click. Okay. So now let's check my product. Can you see it here? If you check the content of my product, select this, it gives you nothing because nothing is being inserted inside. There is nothing. We only created the table. So now, second thing is we want to now insert the content of this product into my product. That is copying from existing what? Copying from existing table. All right. So now how do we write this? We now say we are inserting into something. For us to insert, the insert statement says insert into. Is it? You're inserting it into something, is it not? But I wanted to insert into this, but I'm not adding values myself. I want to do from what? From existing table called product. So what I will do is, this is the query that calls, that displays content of what? Product, is it? Just copy it and bring it in here. Then you run. What it will do is it will run this, it will select it, and then it will push it into the table. Just in one line. Okay? Then check from this. Can you see? It is done. So you need to learn this. There are times where these things are happening actually. If you have something that has pre something, for example, pre-enrollment, like in the one in the names, you go to the cafe and do pre-enrollment. When you are done with the pre-enrollment, take it to the system, to their personnel over there in the office. They'll flash it with the handheld, the scanner, the one we have implemented also here. When they flash it, it pulls out everything. So by the time they confirm that your pre-enrollment is okay, if they want to confirm it, by the time they click on that confirmation button, what it should do is to copy everything from there and push it to the confirmed table. You understand? So it is no more pre. It is now confirmed. So this is the idea. You need to learn how to do this actually. You need to learn how to do it. So it will really assist in your development. So we are done with this. Now the next is what? Loading from what? Loading from local in file. Now this one talks about loading it from the text file you're having, or yes, text file or Word file or any kind of file, and then you want to load from it. But this one has some constraints. There are some rules you have to adhere to. If you want to load from local in file, for example, this is a scenario of a table here, and you want to load from it. What you do first? They said because you are beginning with an empty table and easy to populate. A row for each. Okay, this they are just explaining. Please read through here. But one thing is, don't just go through the main thing I needed. What you want is this. If you want to load from a local table, the first thing you do is you have to format the content of the table. We want to introduce how you format it here. You see, this is the first column, right? Second, third to the last. What you do, interval of every, by the time you write for one column, you give a tab space. Tab, 5 characters space, or 5 spaces. Then 5 spaces to each of the what? Each of the column. If you write this, you give tab. If you write this, you give tab. If you write that, you give tab till the end. And then if you come across null value where there is no data, then you give it /n, and the L has to be capital. /n. That means no data here, no data here. If the table is assigned to, or is created to accept, if the column is allowed to accept null, it will accept null, and you have no problem. Then you run this query: load data local in file, this to the last. So let us get where we implement this here. Let's implement it. Let's see the tables we have in here. The tables we are having. I think we have pet, right? It was the first table we were having. So let's see the content of pet. Content of pet, and then so this is the content of pet as a table. pet as a table. Let me see. Let me do one thing here. Let me load. This is a txt file, but it's not an empty something. Okay, then for the ID here, let us give it null. So for null, that means we say slash what? Slash n. Since we know the ID is what? The ID is auto-incremental. The ID is auto-incremental. So we gave it null. The name of a pet here, let's say ducks. This is a name given to it. Then next owner, name of the owner, let's say man, as it is written there. And then the species is dog, for example, and male or female, let's say male. And also the birth, that is date of birth. Let us give it today's date. As it is written, it has to be system date 2021, and it is now 9 and 01, right? So let me repeat same here. Okay, so we run this. Man 4, man 5, man 6, man 7. I just want to differentiate something so we understand that. So now, but you know, the expectation is you have a very large number of data here. You just need to, adjust it to this. There are some things that will enable you to do this formatting. To check if you are dealing with data. If the data is not in this arrangement, there are things that will really enable you to do the formatting, and then you just push it there. So this is what we have. So what you do is you store this file. Let us store it somewhere. Let's store it in that export folder, and then we give it a name. Say what? Let's say local file. Let's say pet local file, right? Pet local file. So this is our file, right? So now then you run the commands that says load data local in file, then you specify the part of the file, then you say into table, then the table name. All right, so this is it. You load data local in file. Sorry, I started with capital letter. Let me be consistent. Local in file. Then you specify the part of the file. How do you do that? You can just come here. This is the previous part we used. We call it part what? Pet. This local in file. This is it, right? Then if you go back, it will give you the path. Then make use of it here. Then you have to introduce two single open and close quotes. But please, you need to be careful. We are using Windows. Look at how it is here. You need to convert it to // This this is MySQL. The way I copied it from is Windows. So Windows understand backslashes as separation between what? Between folders and files. Folders and files. So you need to convert this bit and this understand forward slashes. If you do not do this, actually it will not run. Then you now say into what? Table. Is it not? Then what is the table name? No, pet. And then you close. I think that's how the command ends. Load data, local in file, and into table. It's correct. I don't know why it is trying to reject this command. Let's check. It might have worked. It has worked. Only that it is showing some error, something from there. I think it's from the workbench. But it has run. Formerly, we were having only one row. And now, can you see in just seconds? Maybe you have a file that contains 1 million records. You don't need to mind. Just do what is required. And then it will load it for you. This file can be in MS Word. It can be, the only thing is text file tends to be easier when it comes to communications with some database engines. It has no any constraint, nothing. What is the last? Loading data from Excel. So if you want to load data from Excel into your database, you need an API. You need an API called MySQL for Excel. I don't know, can we implement this? I think we'll have to stop here, but let me show you how it works. Then maybe I'll give an assignment, you do this. If you are able to install this MySQL for Excel, if you open Excel file and come to data, then from data, come down here, you see MySQL for what? MySQL for Excel. Alright? If you click on it, it asks you to create connections. When you create connections, you do some touches, then you'll be able to fetch data. You highlight your data from Excel here, and then it will push it to MySQL. Right? I think we're going to stop here. Please, I'll send an assignment, so you try to do it, and then I think in our next meeting I will demonstrate how this is, and then we continue. Of course, assignment will be sent via your WhatsApp group, and I think we'll start using our portal to send assignment as well. So somebody who is not added in the group, he can use login using his login credentials and get the assignment ready. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to share, like, and